different companies and groups. And the meetings confirmed a number of issues for me. Firstly, that Ireland is viewed for a variety of reasons as a fantastic destination for tech companies looking to establish. But we are operating in an extremely competitive environment, and we must continue to invest and improve our offering. The importance of developing and attracting key talent cannot be overstated. This is an area where I know Ireland has already delivered real value added for many of the members of the ITLG, as I heard a number of anecdotes to that effect on my trip. This is also an area in which we are keen to build Ireland's capacity and look forward to future developments in the area. The power of the entrepreneur in innovation, and how from a simple idea some of the largest and most successful tech companies in the world today can develop. Entrepreneurs are critical to the success of every economy, and this is also evident in Ireland, where Irish companies are the backbone of our economy. Developing the support networks for entrepreneurs and start-up companies is a central plank of Ireland's economic strategy at present. The recovery in Ireland is now well underway. Growth of 4.7% was recorded last year, that's in 2014. This was the fastest rate of growth in the European Union across the 28 member states, and recent forecasts by the EU Commission suggest that Ireland is set to top the growth league again in Europe this year and again in 2017. There is now a great opportunity to secure steady, stable economic growth into the medium term. Last week's labour market numbers provided further evidence of progress. Employment grew by 2.2% year on year in the first quarter of this year. Unemployment at 9.9% is now below the 10% for the first time since 2008. These are in line with the forecasts set out in April. Over 100,000 people are now at work since the government announced its action plan for jobs in early 2012. This keeps us on course to ensure that by 2018, all the jobs lost during the downturn will be replaced. As a small, open economy, Ireland's ability to attract foreign direct investment has been a central theme of our economic recovery for over 40 years. Despite the challenges we have faced in recent years, we continue to take measures to improve our competitiveness, and foreign direct investment remains strong as our strengths, and in particular the strengths of our people, continue to shine through. Our competitive taxation system has played an important role in attracting companies of real substance and high-value jobs to Ireland. Last October in the budget, I published a roadmap for Ireland's tax competitiveness, which acknowledged the changing international tax landscape and outlined a significant package of measures that are designed to reposition Ireland so that we continue to reap the benefits of sustainable foreign direct investment into our country. The Research and Development Tax Credit is best in class internationally and is our flagship tax incentive for driving innovation. The central purpose of this tax credit is to encourage companies to undertake high value-added R&D activity in Ireland, thereby supporting jobs and investment here. The government is fully committed to this tax credit. A recent amendment has removed a significant administrative burden for companies and further improves the offering. I am confident that this change has improved the overall international competitiveness of the R&D tax credit even further. In addition to the R&D tax credit, we also have an expenditure-based regime for intellectual property. The provision of capital allowances is already a well-established tax treatment for expenditure on traditional physical assets such as plant and machinery. They recognise that ongoing investment in such assets forms part of the usual business cycle and is necessary to generate profits. The global economy is evolving, and business assets resulting from investment in knowledge-based capital such as intellectual property, are becoming a significant driver of economic growth in all OECD economies. This is why these capital allowances are also available in Ireland for investments in intangible assets, such as patents, software, or other forms of intellectual property, as well as more traditional physical assets. The final policy initiative that I will mention is the Knowledge Development Box, a competitive, sustainable, income-based regime for intangible assets in Ireland. The purpose behind the introduction of the Knowledge Development Box is to complement our existing measures and to further enhance the competitiveness of the Irish tax offering for intellectual property. This should therefore ensure Ireland continues to be a location of choice for foreign direct investment. I've already stated that I intend to legislate for this measure later this year in Finance Bill 2015, and I will ensure that this initiative will be among the best in class on offer internationally, while also adhering to the internationally agreed rules for such projects. Excuse me. As I outlined earlier, entrepreneurs and start-up companies are critical to the future success of the Irish economy. Small businesses play a central role in the sustainable recovery of the Irish economy, employing the vast majority of people in this country. This is true across all sectors of the economy. And I would very much agree with Craig Barrett, ITLG chairman, when he said that, and I quote, "The key to Ireland's growth and ongoing prosperity is the enhancement of its entrepreneurial culture." I would like to briefly outline the steps we are taking at a national level in this regard. The National Policy Statement on Entrepreneurs, published last year by my colleague Richard Bruton, identified 6 components of a successful ecosystem for entrepreneurship in Ireland. 2 of these areas are within my remit as Finance Minister. The first is access to finance, and the second one is the business environment, including the tax system. Given the significance of the SME sector, government policy since 2011 has been focused on ensuring that all viable SMEs have access to an appropriate supply of credit facilities from a diverse range of bank and non-bank sources. Following the commencement of legislation in 2014, the Ireland Strategic Investment Fund, known as ISIF, was established. The ISIF has some $7.3 billion available for investment on a commercial basis in a manner designed to support economic activity and employment in the state. The ISIF is focused on investment in projects, companies and funds with Irish activities and the potential for significant expansion, innovation and value improvement. Secondly, we have the Innovation Fund Ireland. That has a value of $250 million. It's a government initiative led by Enterprise Ireland and the ISIF, and its purpose is to increase the availability of risk capital for innovative companies. In June 2012, the NPRF-ISIF announced a strategic partnership with Silicon Valley Bank aimed at supporting the technology innovation sector in Ireland. The ISIF committed to 2 technology funds managed by SVB Capital, Silicon Valley Bank's investment division, while Silicon Valley Bank committed to lend $100 million over a 5-year period to 2017 to fast-growing Irish technology and life science businesses. Since the official announcement in June 2012, SVB has made significant progress in the Irish market and is well on track to deliver upon its targets. The ISIF also has entered into a strategic partnership with China state-backed West Summit Capital. The $100 million China-Ireland Technology Growth Fund has been set up, and this makes minority investments in fast-growing technology companies in Ireland that have a substantial presence or strategic interest in China, and in Chinese fast-growing technology companies that have a substantial presence or strategic interest in establishing a presence in Ireland as a gateway into the broader European market. Along with the ISIF, this government has also established the Strategic Banking Corporation of Ireland, or the SBCI. It lends to SMEs via partner lenders in a manner that better suits the unique financing needs of SMEs. The SBCI launched its initial product programme in February 2015. It provides $800 million of low-cost, long-term funding for the SMEs. I mention these initiatives to show that SMEs in Ireland no longer have to rely solely on the traditional banking sector. And as we move to initiatives similar to the American model, where 75% of the credit required to drive their economy comes from non-bank sources, we're developing the non-bank sector as well as a source of funding for SMEs. I'd like to move now to the tax treatment of entrepreneurs. Obviously, the tax environment is another one of a number of factors which contribute to encouraging entrepreneurship. I believe that the taxation system can play a key role in supporting and encouraging entrepreneurs to start up and develop new businesses in Ireland. Expanding the availability of investment for entrepreneurs and existing SMEs has been a priority for the government, and a wide range of targeted tax measures to encourage productive investment in SMEs and to promote growth of small enterprises has been introduced. For example, we have an employment and investment incentive which provides income tax relief on investments of up to $150,000 for SMEs. The level of investment made under this scheme is rising, and it is expected that this will continue. In Budget 2014, I introduced the capital gains tax entrepreneurial relief, which provides capital gains tax relief for serial entrepreneurs who use the gains from one investment to invest by rolling over into a new firm. A number of weeks ago, I and my colleague Richard Bruton, the Minister for Jobs and Enterprise, rebranded and relaunched the Seed Capital Scheme as start-up refunds for entrepreneurs. Under this scheme, an employee who leaves PAYE employment may claim a refund of income tax already paid in respect of their investment in their new incorporated business. This will provide much-needed seed capital to new firms and encourage entrepreneurial activity. There are many people who are employees on the PAYE system who have bright ideas. If they only had a small amount of capital, they'd plunge and become self-employed and get involved in entrepreneurial activity. The fact that under this scheme they can claim back income tax paid will provide them with the necessary seed capital to assist them when making the decision to leave secure employment and to launch out on their own to develop their new ideas. All these measures have aimed to increase investment in the small and medium enterprise sector. The government have also introduced other targeted measures to achieve specific objectives. Back in 2011, I introduced the 9% rate of VAT for tourism and related services. The rate, as you'll recall, was 13.5%. Employer PRSI on share-based remuneration was abolished as part of the same package of measures. To improve cash flow for small businesses, I increased the cash receipts basis threshold for VAT in successive budgets. It now stands at 2 million, so that helps quite small businesses. To encourage SMEs to invest abroad, I enhanced and extended the foreign earnings deduction to new qualifying countries, both in Budget 2014 and 2015. I introduced the Start Your Own Business initiative to assist entrepreneurs who have previously been long-term unemployed. And one that will be very popular in the university, to assist microbreweries to continue to expand into markets abroad. I extended the excise duty reduction available for craft beers. We will continue to enhance the tax treatment of entrepreneurs and the self-employed in Ireland, and the Department of Finance will be publishing a consultation paper on supporting entrepreneurs, and we would welcome submissions from this group. Before I conclude, I would like to touch on one final area where the world of finance meets the world of technology. In March of this year, the International Financial Services Strategy 2020 was launched. The strategy seeks to consolidate and grow Ireland's position as the location of choice for specialist international financial services, and it targets 10,000 extra new jobs in the IFS sector by 2020. There are already 35,000 working in this in Ireland, and they're not all in Dublin. 12,000 of those jobs are outside of the Greater Dublin area. In particular, I will mention the very exciting opportunities FinTech presents for Ireland. Ireland is uniquely positioned to become a leading global centre for FinTech, where global multinationals can develop and implement their innovative strategies side by side with Irish-owned startups who will scale and succeed in global markets. This strategy contains a number of actions to ensure we have an effective ecosystem with the ultimate aim of making Ireland a global leader for FinTech. The rapid development of new payments technologies has presented an opportunity for Ireland. The advent of SEPA has created a single integrated payments market in Europe for the first time that can be developed further. Ireland is already an attractive destination for international payments firms, but the government wants to maximise our potential in this sector of the economy and has tasked Enterprise Ireland in the IFS 2020 strategy with establishing a payment forum to review the positioning, opportunities and dependencies of the sector. Of course, there are a number of other initiatives which come under the remit of my colleague, the Minister for Jobs, Enterprise and Innovation, in the area of promoting enterprise. The Department of Jobs, Enterprise and Innovation's mission is to encourage the creation of high quality and sustainable full employment by championing enterprise across government, supporting a competitive enterprise embrace, establishing a competitive tax environment to incentivise work and enterprise, and promoting fair and competitive markets. I have been advised that a new strategy for science, technology and innovation is under formulation. An interdepartmental committee on science, technology and innovation, comprising representatives from key government departments, along with the chief scientific advisor to the government and representatives from the Higher Education Authority, have been convened to formulate the new strategy and to help ensure that it benefits from a whole of government perspective. Ireland benefited hugely in the hardware-driven digital era in the 90s with the arrival of such companies as Intel, IBM and Hewlett-Packard. It further benefited in the software and services-driven era of the noughties with the establishment of world-leading internet-based companies such as Google, Facebook, Amazon and PayPal. Ireland is strongly positioned to be able to benefit in the next technological initiatives, such as the Internet of Things. We have already set ourselves the ambition of making Ireland a leading country in Europe in the area of big data and data analytics. Forbes magazine in 2014 rated Ireland as the best country for business, and we want to continue to have a positive environment to attract foreign investment for our indigenous firms to grow. By building on existing enterprise strengths, and by promoting the business environment, we can strive to meet our targets of having full employment by 2018. I'd like to thank you very much. In particular, I'd like to thank the authorities here at DCU and the President for making me so welcome. And the Mayor of Fingal was out there also, so thank you very much. And in particular, I'd like to thank John Hartnett, who has been a friend for many years, and Craig Barrett, who is doing such wonderful work since he has established his second career on his retirement as CEO of Intel. Thank you very, very much indeed.